There are some eerie similarities to the impact of COVID-19 and the after effect of the 9/11 terror attacks that took place 20 years ago this Saturday. They are outlined in a new book, Leading from the Stop, by Elias Kanaris. He was on one of the nearly 40 flights diverted to Gander, Newfoundland when airspace was closed. And he joins us now with some of the lessons that he's taken from that day. And he joins us from New Zealand. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks for having me.
So tell us about that morning. You were on a flight from New Zealand to Chicago.
Yes, actually, I was flying from London, Heathrow in the UK to Chicago on part of a speaking tour when I got diverted halfway through the flight. And honestly, the only thing that we heard was the captain coming on saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, can I first reassure you there's nothing wrong with the aeroplane. However, there has been a significant incident in the USA and the Federal Aviation Authority has asked all flights to be diverted. We're going to Newfoundland in Canada," and that was all we knew.
Right, and that message is something that has kind of carried with you, the way he presented that message, that you are not in trouble, has something that's carried you in the 20 years since then, because other people on other planes were told, oh, there's an issue, we're going to divert here. Some of them were not told the truth, and I can imagine in a moment of panic, like, what do you do? But the way that captain handled that flight is pretty amazing.
Oh, look, 100%. I really admire what Captain Mike Ballard did. The fact that he was sitting there giving us transparency in this whole situation, effectively saying, look, you're not in trouble. The next thing that him and the crew on United Airlines flight UA929 did was reassure us that they were looking after us. And the third thing was that they cared for us. And that was a framework that has lived long in my heart and helped us to transition that potentially scary moment into something that was very, very safe.
Mm-hmm. And then you land in Gander, Newfoundland. You think for a quick stop, maybe you'll get back up in the air again, and you stayed there, ended up staying 5 days. You were the one of the people come from away.
Oh, yeah, indeed. Honestly, I'm not even one of the people from come from away, but I was also very much in denial. I thought we were only going to be there for a couple of hours, short layover, back in the air, back on our way to Chicago. After all, I had a conference to attend. I had a report to write. This was somewhat inconvenient, but 24 hours in the plane, on the tarmac, before they let us out, and then a bus ride to Gambo to the Salvation Army, and all of a sudden I was realizing, hey, maybe I'm not going to go home all that soon after all.
Right, and it kind of stripped away what you thought was important at the time. Right away, it's like, I've got to finish this report, I've got to go to that conference. Now it's like, no, I need to do dishes, I need to help organize things, I need to help the people who are helping me.
The only reason that I actually made that mental change was the fact that on the first night that I was there at the Salvation Army, I remember getting up at around about midnight, taking my laptop into the main hall, where earlier on it was full of people, 198 of us passengers who were having supper there. But I found myself alone with another congregant, probably a grandmother in her mid-60s, sitting there with knitting needles, and she started to talk to me. And I was really too focused on my work to understand what she was trying to do. All she was there was to try and help us in case we needed somebody to talk to. It took me maybe 10 or 15 minutes before I shut my laptop down, and I thought, Elias, you've got to change the rules. You've got to start to relax, and you've got to start smelling the roses. And that was something that she helped me to do, that later on we translated it into doing the dishes, helping out, even cleaning the whole church for a funeral that happened on the third day that we were there.
Right, right. And we've got about a minute left, but I want to connect this back to COVID-19 and your response to that. It's like, yes, we are living in adversity right now, but there are things that people are doing to help each other and the hope that we will get past this.
Oh, we've got to get past this. There's three principles that I talk about in the book. First of all, take control of yourself first and ask for help. It's so important that you do that, especially today with mental health issues, especially in lockdown. Secondly, is build and expand your community, and by that, look out for the others who need help. As a leader, whether you're leading a large multinational organization or just your family, you've got to look out for others. And as I said earlier on, change the rules. Start to relax and smell the roses.
Elias, great to talk to you. I really enjoyed the read, Leading from the Stop. We'll get the information up on our website, chch.com. It's very inspiring, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thanks for having me.